Hello everyone and welcome to today's healing subscription. Hope you had a good weekend and that you're ready for the week ahead. So in today's session we are focusing on the tachyons and I've got them laid out already. I also have the Atlantean Healing Paddles ready for us to use. And so let's see what comes up. I haven't done any analysis on the tachyons yet, so as we do the work I'll switch over to the other camera and then we'll see what comes up for today's session. Before we get into the work, let's tune in. So I have a light code ready for us. This is the Inca Maya light code. So it was inspired a while ago to connect with our ancestors from the Inca and Maya and Aztec regions. So set your intention, perhaps take a deep breath in and out. And think about what it is that you would like to receive, let go of, heal, or manifest for today's session. Just find a moment to center and find what that items are. And when you feel ready, you may open your eyes and just gently allow your eyes to rest on the light code, or perhaps trace the line. Thinking about what you would like to receive, release, heal, or manifest. And if you need more time, you feel free to pause the recording. And so we're going to switch over to the other camera and then see what happens for today's session. I'll see you there. Okay, so here we are at your layout. I have the tachyons placed out already. There's a few that stay in their locations no matter what. So the ones here at the feet, they are always the same. And then the ones around the head area tend to be pretty much the same. I'll go through and see what the meanings could be of these various tachyons in their positions. Right in the center on the solar plexus point, I have our light code that we are focusing on. So this is our connection here on the solar plexus point. So if you want to, you could place a hand on your solar plexus point throughout the work that we're doing. You can even place both hands there. Or a good idea is to place one hand on the heart and one hand on the solar plexus. And then we have the healing paddles here at the bottom. So let's start with the feet. So this is a set layout that we always use. This is to remove electrosmog and EMF, so electromagnetic frequencies and things like that from the system. And the idea is that it's pulling the energy through into the feet and then releasing it through the soles of the feet so it can go down into the Earth star. I think the video ends about here, so you won't see what's beyond that. Then the one here between the knees, this is also a set one. It's a clear tree of life that we always use, and all that we have to do is check whether it needs to go this way or that way. So we are facing down, which is a really good one. So that's a good anchoring, and so no issues there. Then we've got the indigo spiral suns over here. When the spiral suns come up in indigo on the knees, it usually indicates that we're dealing with someone who is on their spiritual path. It's usually a bit of a higher spiritual path, and I would probably think that if you are all joining in on the subscription, that you are working on your spiritual development, so it makes sense that we have these. So no issues here. The base and the sacral and the solar plexus, they have the correct colors and they've got the correct shape for here. The spiral sun is a good one to have here. So no problems in the base, sacral or solar plexus, which is good. On the hips, we have a topaz or a gold tree of life. So tree of life is a good one to have here. The fact that we've got a topaz or a gold, as it's also called, could indicate that we need a little bit more joy in our life, a little bit more sunshine. It could also indicate that there's something that needs to be removed, something that's like a darker or heavier energy. So the hips are about our connection and relationship to others, and it is our flexibility to approach in life, so our journey that we are following on in life. And so perhaps there's been some obstacles here along the way that needs to be removed. I know that from the past we've dealt with quite a bit of tension and blocks on our way, so I think these may be the last remnants of that needs to be cleared. I do feel that the energy is lifting, so that's really great. Then we've got 2 pink pyramids, and they are sitting on the ovary points. And yes, even if you're a guy, you still have the ovary points. We still have these ones. They are associated with creativity, and they can also be directly associated with the ovaries. Remember, also for men, the testes drop. They are actually ovaries that have just dropped. So this would also connect to that. So this is our creative center, and this is creativity in general. So on that front, we're needing some nurturing and some affection, perhaps. I would say more nurturing. We need to nurture our creativity, we need to nurture our sexuality, and yeah, so this is quite a bit of healing here. The pyramids, they bring in a higher frequency, so usually in the lower sections we would normally have spiral suns. So for a pyramid to come up would indicate that the energy is actually quite drained in this area, so we need to replenish. The Hara point has a lilac semisphere. Hara is our connection, it's our center point between our Earth star at the bottom and our individuation point on top. And so we've got a Hara line that runs along the center that keeps us connected and grounded. And so the fact that we've got a lilac semisphere there, lilac brings in healing on quite a deep level, so it means that something's not right here in the Hara. It's interesting because the rest of the chakras are not showing this, so it could be something that's relatively new. The semisphere itself tends to break down heavy dense energy, similar to what the igloos do, and then they bring through new healing energy in a very smooth, gentle way. This semisphere, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if I'll get the camera, but we'll see there's a little indent there. So it's got a little spiral pyramid on the inside, and so the spiral pyramid does this whole whirly thing. It's basically one of these that's on the inside, so they really shake up the energy, and then the sphere aspect is what brings this very gentle, nurturing, holding energy in, so it really anchors it in beautifully. Then on the liver and on the stomach spleen area, we have green spiral suns. I don't really see any issues there. Having green in this area is quite normal, and it's perhaps what it also is indicating or showing is that there's maybe a little bit more need for something green. Perhaps you want to include more green food into your diet, or perhaps you have come to the point where you decided that you want to make your diet a little bit cleaner. So perhaps cutting out some of the bad foods, bringing in some more juicing and fruit and vegetables and things like that. I know the energy was between December and now, there's been a slump just energetically when it comes to food and intake, but it feels like that has lifted, and with the new moon that's just passed now, there's sort of new beginnings coming through. Also Chinese New Year that is happening, I think it started yesterday, so 新年快乐 for any of you who celebrate Chinese New Year. And so this is quite good to have here, and I would say this is new beginnings, new paths turning around there. Then we've got on the diaphragm, we've got a pine green tree of life. So pine green also indicates new beginnings, new growth, new developments. The tree of life is structure, but it's also about truth. And the diaphragm would be about our breathing and how we get our breath deeper. And so there is perhaps a call to focus a little bit more on breath and breath work. And it immediately reminds me of the Kundalini Yoga Sat Nam that we always use. And Sat means truth, and Nam means identity, what to identify with, or to bow to, or to belly. And so this is truth is my identity. That's sort of what comes up for me. The Sat Nam, with the inhalation to think Sat and to exhale thinking Nam. Both lungs have rainbow spiral pyramids on. That could be about detoxification, could be about clearing the energy. Again, there's a lot of green in this area. Even these two rainbow spiral pyramids, they've got a green tint to them. There's a lot of green in the chest area, replenishing and rejuvenating on the lungs and the heart. The heart chakra has a clear 12-sided pyramid. This is a little bit unusual. Usually we have a rainbow color like a peacock, like this one. So to have it clear here, it feels almost like we need as I've said with everything else here, new slate, clean energy. It's like really new beginning over here. The 12-sided pyramid brings in an angelic presence, actually brings in like a beam of light. And so the clear energy brings in a very, very clear beam of light, connecting with angelic realms and also bringing a pure light into the heart. Like I said, it's quite uncommon to have another color other than the rainbow color that we usually have, but we have it here, so I'm actually really happy with it. It does feel like there's a new beginning perhaps here, new page. On the thymus we've got a green semi-sphere, and this one I would say color-wise, shape-wise, it's okay to have here. It does feel like normally when green comes up, green is very, very strong healing quality. It normally comes up for cancers and things like that. I don't think we've got thymus cancer, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's deep healing needed here. Color-wise, it's a good one to have on the thymus, so I'm not too worried about it. But it could be that the immune system is maybe a little bit low. I don't know. For me, it just feels more like a flush out, like we are cleansing and clearing. This whole section here with the green spiral suns, the pine green, the clear, and this whole section for me means detox, cleanse, clear, purify, new beginnings. So yeah, I would say that's what this is about. We're definitely starting a new journey, new direction. Time for like really cleaning up our act. On the throat we have a aqua semi-sphere. This is a normal one of those that we always have in this position, so that's fine. We've got a peacock and a Bermuda blue igloo. These are normal in these positions, so they activate the carotid arteries that's sitting in the neck, that activates and stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, so they help the body to relax. And on the ears we have for balance, we've got the Bermuda blues. So then here on top, on the temples, we have the 12-sided pyramids in Bermuda blue and peacock. And when we have this combination, we call this joy and abundance. So normally we could get a clear, or we could get the rainbow ones. The rainbow ones, joy and abundance. So again, if I look at this section here, this is that beautiful detox section where we're clearing out. This section seems fine for me. Like we've got our strong base in place. It's just our hara that seems to be dropping, and that's needing a bit more anchoring, but it could be because of the detox. We want to pull the energy down all the way through. On the third eye we've got the indigo pyramid. That's a normal one in this location. And then on top here, this one is not a normal location for color. We normally would have a clear one over there. And the fact that we have an aqua one, aqua is indicative or connected with ETs connections, so working with extraterrestrials and alien species. So perhaps there are some healing coming through from Arcturian or Andromedan or other areas within our galaxy that's coming to assist in today's healing session. Right on top we've got a corona orb. in iridescent color, that's a very, very high energy, high frequency energy coming through. So the corona orb is associated with spiritual development and soul growth. So we've got from the individuation point that soul growth coming through. Also we have corona orbs in each of the hands. So there's definitely some new developments happening and some new growth happening. And let's see how we're going to put it all together. I have the pendulum over here, and I'm going to be using that to check which of the Atlantean paddles I need to use and when I use them, and then we'll go through and just receive. So on your side, I would say that you could get yourself comfortable, close your eyes, and just relax. You could sit or lie for this. Just also a note, working with Atlantean paddles, they've got quite a frequency on them, and I would very highly recommend that after this session, once you've received this, just lie down quietly for 10 to 30 minutes and don't do anything. You just lie there, because we need the energy to integrate when it's all done. So that's very, very important. After the session, just lie down quietly for 10 to 30 minutes just to integrate the energy. Shagabura, Shem 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 Shagabura. El Elyon, 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 El Elyon. Shalom Shalom, 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 Shalom Shalom. Shekinah Om Shalom, 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 Shekinah Om Shalom. This concludes your healing session for today. Close your eyes and just lie down for 10 to 30 minutes. Don't do anything, don't think about anything, don't try to meditate. Just lie and relax. And allow the energy to settle for the next 10 to 30 minutes. I'm sending you lots of love and light and blessings. And I'll see you in your next healing session.